This year's high school basketball state tournament began with 11 Boston Public High School basketball teams, but by the start of this weekend's sectional finals, only the Fenway Lady Panthers remained. Friday marked the fourth straight season that Fenway had reached the sectional finals, including last year's loss to rival New Mission. This season, Fenway would square off against the Pope John Tigers in pursuit of the girls' North Division IV title and a trip to the TD Garden. Let's head to Tewksbury High School for the girls' North Division IV sectional finals. Fenway taking on Pope John. We're going to pick it up in the first quarter. Fenway opens strong. Jakayla Holloman knocks down the corner three. Fenway goes up by 7. Later on in the first quarter, Pope John's Gianni Hill with the drive, knocks down the floater off the window, and she cuts Fenway's lead down late there in the first quarter. Mid-second quarter now, Fenway still attacking. Jaleesa Ross with the drop step right there. Fenway led by 12 at the half. We're going to fast forward to the third quarter now. Pope John goes to work. Jade Moore finds Anya Walcott underneath. She cuts the lead down to 7. Next possession for Pope John. It's Dana Jackson knocking down the jumper for the Tigers. Pope John will get it to as close as 3 points, but then Fenway would respond. Jaleesa Ross with the basket inside. That puts a halt to the 9-0 run by the Pope John Tigers. Then later on, it's Ross again on the fast break. That time she puts the Panthers up by 9. We're going to fast forward to the fourth quarter now. And Jaleesa Ross just all over the offensive glass right there. She gets the putback and the foul and puts Fenway up by 10. And later on in the fourth, Fenway sealing the deal. McIntyre finding Cheyenne Nance for the easy lay-in as Fenway goes on to win 51-37. They win the North Division IV sectional final. So they head to the TD Garden. This game was yesterday, Monday, and Fenway taking on Cathedral. And Fenway started this one off very good as well. McIntyre with the 3. Fenway goes up 18-3 early in the first. Later on in the first quarter, Cathedral not going away. Talia Countryman gets the basket and 1. She cuts the Fenway lead down to 9. We're going to fast forward to the second quarter now. Cathedral still hanging tough. That's Masani Kaba going coast to coast. Cathedral cuts the Fenway lead down to 4 there in the second quarter, but the Fenway Panthers would again respawn. They move the ball around real well there as Holloman knocks down the 3 for the Panthers. Then later on, it's Lisa Ross with the baseball pass down the court there to freshman Miara Carter. That puts Fenway up by 13. But this half belonged to Cheyenne Nance. Right here, she picks up the loose ball, scores the bucket there for Fenway. Then later on in the second quarter, it's going to be Nance making the cut down low off the feed from Holloman. Nance had 8 points to end the half, and Fenway was up 31-19 at the break. Third quarter now, Fenway keeps it going to Cora McIntyre. Straightaway 3 right there for the starting point guard. That puts Fenway's lead into double digits. Later on in the third quarter, it's Nance just all over the offensive glass right here. Cheyenne towards the basket. She gets the bucket there for Fenway. Then later on in the third quarter, it's to Cora McIntyre, the point guard, coming away with the steal. She'll take it in herself for the lane. She had 13 points for the Fenway Lady Panthers. Then once again, it's McIntyre driving this time. She lays it down to Cheyenne Nance. Cheyenne had 14 to lead Fenway in this one as they were on cruise control there in the fourth quarter. Masani Kaba trying to hang tough here for Cathedral. She led them with 13 points, but it was all Fenway in the second half. Jaleesa Ross off the fake on the drive, scores 2 for Fenway. She had 11, 6 in the fourth quarter, and the Fenway Lady Panthers go on to win 58-38, and they are headed to the Division IV State Championship. And we talked to Coach Ross, to Jaleesa Ross and John Rice after the game.
My whole team did very well. My point guard, Takora, does her job. My 2 guard does her job. Everybody does their job so that we come up on top, of course. This being my 3rd time here, it never gets old, you know? It's always an excellent experience.
And the city kids are just comfortable with each other, and sometimes when you get them out of there, they're not as comfortable. We're comfortable wherever we go, so I kind of get my kids ready for moving out of the city environment. I think that's one of the things that why we've had so much success and the other ones come up short.
After listening to Coach Rice and Jaleesa Ross, you can tell Fenway's got their sights set on that state championship, which will be held this Friday, March 13th at 6 p.m. at Worcester Polytechnic Institute. That's right, WPI. So make sure you get out there to Worcester to support the Lady Panthers as they pursue their third state championship in 4 seasons. That's going to do it for sports this week. Be sure to come right back here next week for more on Boston Neighborhood Sports.